Hello and welcome back to Quartzlight, your car brochure channel, and in today's episode for Ford Friday we're going to be looking at the Ford Cougar. Hello and welcome back, and if you're new to Quartzlight, we're a car brochure channel here on YouTube looking at car brochures from around the world for the 60s, 70s, 80s and 90s and sometimes beyond that as well. So if you're interested in cars and car brochures, please consider subscribing. Today's episode is one of those and beyond. It's just into the 2000s. This is dated February 2000 and it's for the Ford Cougar. And really, this was kind of like Ford's second attempt to reintroduce the Ford Capri, which was long since gone. The first attempt to replace it, of course, was the poorly named, I think, Ford Probe, and then we got the Ford Cougar. And I think the Cougar was actually supposed to be like the third generation Probe, but it never happened. So this was the Cougar, the replacement, although spoiler alert, it really never did have the success that the Capri did, of course, but it was in a similar sort of frame really, where the Capri was based on the Cortina. These were based on the Mondeo. So if you just zoom in on the top right hand corner of this brochure, you can see the date there, February 2000. A simple little heading, the Ford Cougar, all in one lowercase text for whatever reason. Anyway, we'll work through in a bit. Let's open the brochure and have a look inside. And as we open the first page with a little bit of text, and then we've got this little rear image of the Probe, and certainly in Europe at least it came with kind of like mixed reviews. I think partially because of the styling. It was this new edge styling that Ford came with, and I think that caused a little bit of controversy. Not everyone really liked that styling, although, you know, I wouldn't say it's the most beautiful car in the world, but I think it's kind of like aged quite well. So when we go to the next page, I think this gives us a better idea of that sort of styling. It's very sort of edgy, lots of like lines and creases in the bodywork. I don't know, you tell me, do you prefer this from the Probe? Which was the better design? I think the only thing that put me off the Probe really was the name. Actually, I do think the name Cougar is a better name for it, but then again, we could have called it the Capri, but then I think that would have really angered a lot of people, really, because, we're in a different generation, completely different car. Anyway, let's read some of the text and learn a bit more about it. So here it's talking about the handling, so the purest coupe handling, adrenaline flowing over snaking tarmac, changing G-force through bends and brows, your heartbeat and tachometer keep pace, smiling to yourself at the sheer thrill, the control and dynamics of a great coupe in motion. You're suddenly feeling more alive, more the real you. Isn't that the magic you seek? Yeah, it's complete nonsense, but I guess it's trying to give you that sort of a car you want to be passionate about. And I don't know if you really did feel passionate about this car, to be honest, but that's what it's trying to give you. I really don't think you can really match like catchphrases you had for the Capri, like the car you always promise yourself. That works. I'm not sure this sort of hairy for fairy sort of giving you a thrill really works for this type of car, but I don't know. Anyway, it continues to tell us the Ford Cougar's chassis features low friction front struts, 8 arms and roll bar for smooth ride and crisp handling. Quadrolink rear suspension incorporates passive wheel steering for accurate corner control. Dampers are calibrated for high initial reaction and slow change in roll action, minimizing pitch and dive and aiding stability in side winds. The 4-channel anti-locking braking system with electronic brake force distribution is designed to improve stability in any braking situation. Integrated traction control helps control wheel spin and aids traction. Next page is entitled Interior Design, so we get a glimpse inside the cockpit. Again, I'm not sure it's worth reading all this, it does get a bit wordy, but we'll certainly zoom in on those pictures. So first of all, it shows this quite unusual view really, possibly showing the seats more than anything, telling you with supportive sport seats, both front and rear comfort is assured. Bit of a strange picture this. I think the next image is a little bit better. Another little image, like I say. Strange picture actually, it's almost like it's drawn rather than photographed, but anyway. Interesting, no Ford badge in the centre of that steering wheel, little Cougar badge I guess, and of course in the US and Canada this would have been the Mercury Cougar rather than the Ford Cougar, for whatever reason. But it continues in the same vein as the outside, lots of sweepy lines, isn't it? Sharp corners, very much that Ford design of the time. And I think that curvy edge design probably looks better from the front, so I do like it from this angle the best in this interesting green colour. There is some colour choice at the end to show us what colours we could get it in. This page is entitled Power and Exhilaration. Let's just read this little bit of a paragraph and then look at a bit more on this page. So it tells us neon lights ricochet off rain-washed streets. Yeah, but it's going to continue in this strangely worded. Who wrote this? I really don't know. Escaping the glare and city limits, gliding through the gears like playing power chords on an air guitar. It's nonsense, isn't it? I don't know why they wrote it like this. Second through third, fourth to fifth, the potent engine, free revving and responsive, effortlessly smooth, deceptively quiet, riding the slipstream of a perfect day. Time slides by in your wake, and whatever you are at that precise, delicious moment is where you'll always want it to be. It's very, very weird, isn't it? Particularly from a brochure from the 2000s. Anyway, let's just move on. It does give us a couple of power band curve type diagrams. Firstly for the 2 litre inline 4 and also for the 2.5 litre V6. Next page is entitled Science of Safety. Nice little rear shot actually, let's just zoom in on that. We've got more of them angles, particularly look at that door handle with that sort of like a triangular design. Interesting stuff. I think silver is actually probably the nicest colour for these, incidentally. Well, that's just my opinion anyway. So I'm not gonna read that first paragraph because it's more of that nonsense, but it's telling you about safety. So Ford Cougar's safety provisions include high tensile steel door beams and latest generation chest and head side airbags. The fully integrated restraint system with load limiting retractors that help limit excessive seat belt pressure, improves levels of absorption from passenger and driver's airbag, give added protection. Plus the steering column is semi-deformable and is designed to minimise chest injury. And then back pages we've got technical data specifications, so let's have a little look at that. So 2 different engine choices, so we've got that 2 litre 16 valve and the 2.5 V6 24 valve, and you can even have that as an automatic. Bit more information about those engines. So that 2 litre Z-Tech 16 valve, 1988cc, 4-cylinder inline engine. Bit of information about maximum power and maximum torque for that engine, and also the 2.5 litre V6 Duratec 24 valve. It's a 2544cc engine, and that's a V6. Again, maximum power and maximum torque at the end there. We also get some fuel economy and performance figures as well. So that 2 litre 16 valve is kind of like doing, looks like the urban cycle, the extra urban cycle as it calls it. 44.1 miles per gallon. Combined is 33.2 miles per gallon. Urban is 23.3 miles per gallon. Not pretty amazing figures really, are they? But it does 130 miles per hour, 0 to 60 9.6 seconds. And if you go for that 2.5 litre V6 24 valve, that does drop the fuel consumption combined to 29.7, only getting 21.1 urban cycle. If you get the automatic, it drops even further to 19.1. Combined 28.2, so it's not really a very fuel efficient car, to be honest here, for a car in the 2000s. Performance though for that 2.5, 140 miles per hour, 0 to 60 in 8.3 seconds, which isn't bad at all. But if you go for the automatic, it's even slower than the 2 litre, 128 miles per hour, 0 to 60 in 9.9 seconds. So sounds like the automatic would be the one to avoid. Brakes, disc brakes all round. We've got ABS. Traction control is only on the 24 valve though. A bit of information about the fuel tank. Steering is power assisted rack and pinion. Suspension and body saw front independent with MacPherson struts, anti-roll bar. Rear quadrillink independent anti-roll bar. And then we've got side impact door beams, steel safety cage, engine compartment cross beam. Details of the audio equipment, so AM, FM, stereo, radio, cassette, aerial, roof mounted, carpet and trim, carpet molded environment colour, door bins front, door pull handle, armrest, gear lever knob, leather covered. Interior lighting, courtesy lights, etc. Instrument and controls, instrument, speedometer, odometer, tachyometer, trip recorder, constant readout fuel gauge, water temperature gauge, trip computer, warning indicators for low fuel, oil pressure, direction indicators, high beam, ignition alternator, brake failure, handbrake on, airbags, light on, audible warning, illuminated heater controls, 4-speed fan, 4 micron air filtered vents with temperature and direction controls, auxiliary warning system, 24 valve only, master lighting control, fascia mounted, column stokes, headlight leveling controls, steering column rake adjustable, airbags, steering wheel leather trimmed, seats and seat belts, sports contoured anti-submarining with fully adjustable head restraints. A bit of information about the front seats, rear seats 50-50 split, storage pockets, seat belts, accessory sockets, air conditioning, centre console, clock, coat hooks, glove box, mirror, sun visors, windows, fully electric, luggage, carpet and compartment cover. And then we've got the optional equipment, auto transmission and cruise control for the 24 valve, heated windscreen, sunroof, electric. We can get something called the X Pack, which has got leather trim, driver's power seat adjustment, heated front seats, CD auto changer for the 24 valve only. We've got a bit of an upgrade to the audio system, and we can have metallic paint if we wish. And then just at the bottom there are the insurance groups for the UK at the time. And then we turn the page and we get the colour choice, which, as you can see, isn't very much at all. So just 3 colours to choose from. Ebony black is the only non-metallic, and the metallics of silver frost and dark tourmaline, if that's the correct way to pronounce it. So let's just look at those colours. So there we can see silver frost and ebony black, and then the only other colour is that green. And then right on the very back cover, the little bit of address there, published by the Ford Motor Company Limited, a little bit of a reference code of FA 1326/4, dated February 2000, web address, and then that's where you would have got your little dealer stamp. No particular slogan or anything like that for Ford at this time. We've just got quite simply the Ford badge. So there we go, the Ford Cougar. Do you remember these? Did you own one? Jot in the comments if you did. Always very interesting to read real world views of these cars. Thank you so much for watching here on Ford Friday. Every Friday we look at a Ford. Tomorrow is Saturday, which is the Saturday special. We'll look at a special edition model of various different makes and models, so look out for that. If you've not liked and subscribed, please do so. It certainly helps the channel and stops you missing any episodes. But like I say, thank you so much for watching. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you very soon. So take care and goodbye.